Okay, if you've spent any time at all on Book Talk, you have definitely seen this book. Yeah, it's the one that pretty much launched 1,000 fan edits and just took the romance world by storm. So today, we're going to dive into Anna Huang's Twisted Love and figure out, what makes this story so ridiculously irresistible. This line right here, this is basically the entire promise of the book. It just perfectly sets the stage for this dark, super intense romance where the stakes are like literally world-burning passion. You know the trope, he's cold to everyone but her? Well, this is that, but cranked up to a global apocalyptic scale. All right, so who is this guy with the heart of ice? Let's get into it. Meet our first protagonist, Alex Volkov. He's this brilliant, super driven CEO who's also, yeah, absolutely ruthless. So Alex Volkov is pretty much a walking paradox, right? You've got a genius with an IQ of 160 who's described as a devil blessed with the face of an angel. I mean, come on. But underneath all that, he's totally haunted by this dark past. And that past is what fuels his relentless drive for success and, get this, vengeance. It leaves like zero room in his life for something like love. Okay, this quote, this is just a raw, completely unfiltered look straight into his mind. This is Alex's worldview, in his own words. There's no romance, no sweet nothings, no emotion. It's just this cold, almost transactional approach to intimacy. And it just shows you exactly how closed off this guy really is. So you might be asking, who on earth could possibly melt this world of ice? Well, let's meet Ava Chen, who is his complete and total opposite, a literal spirit of sunshine. Ava, she's a total free spirit, a real optimist. But her life isn't all sunshine. There's this darkness surrounding her. She's plagued by these awful nightmares, from a childhood she can't even remember. And yet, despite all that, she still chooses to see the beauty in the world. She is the light that is about to just collide with Alex's all-consuming darkness. So, get this, she's stranded, all alone in a storm, and this is what she's thinking. She's hopeful for sure, but she is not naive. She's pragmatic. She's aware of the danger she's in, which makes her optimism feel so much more real, It's earned and grounded, not just some childish fantasy. So when you put these two side by side, wow. The contrast is just electric. You've got ice versus warmth, vengeance versus hope, the devil versus the free spirit. I mean, this is your classic opposites attract story, but it is turned up to a completely different level. So how do these two polar opposites actually get forced into the same orbit? Well, the story kicks things off with a classic setup. You've got a crisis, a storm, a stranded girl, and of course, a very, very reluctant rescue mission. The setup is super simple, but man, is it effective. So, Ava's stranded in a storm, can't get back to campus. Her only option? Make the one call she really doesn't want to make, to her super overprotective brother, Josh. But, of course, Josh is busy, so he sends his best friend to go pick her up. And poor Ava has no clue who's about to pull up in that car. And of course, the person driving that slick Aston Martin is none other than Alex Volkov, the one man she finds both completely intimidating and just utterly insufferable. You can literally feel the tense, icy silence in that car right through the pages of the book. And this is Ava's perfect parting shot to Alex right after he drops her off. After a car ride filled with that awful silence and his totally condescending attitude, she just lets him have it. This one line, it just perfectly captures that instant friction and fire between them. It's so good. Okay, so a tense car ride is one thing, but what happens next? That's the real catalyst that's going to throw these two into each other's lives, like for good. So the big inciting incident happens when Josh announces he's leaving. He's heading to Central America for a whole year. He's a med student doing volunteer work, which is great, but it means Ava is going to be completely on her own for the first time in a long, long time. And, Josh is worried. He tells Alex that his sister can be a little too trusting. Plus, there's a harassing ex-boyfriend still lurking around, so he just can't leave without knowing someone he trusts is keeping an eye on her. And he's asking for this huge favor from the one person in the world he trusts completely. But this is Alex Volkov we're talking about. He doesn't just agree to, check in on her now and then. No, he takes this promise to the absolute extreme. He literally abandons his fancy penthouse in DC and moves into the house right next door to Ava. He becomes her constant, watchful, and frankly, kind of terrifying neighbor. So let's recap. You've got this cold, ruthless guy living next door, and his job is to protect this vibrant, trusting woman. And yeah, almost immediately, those lines between protection and control start to get really, really blurry. And this really becomes the central question of their whole relationship, right? Where does Alex's protection end and his control begin? Let's look at a key scene where this conflict just absolutely explodes. So it all starts when Ava doesn't answer Alex's texts for like an hour. Just 1 hour. His response? It's not to wait or call again. No, it's to track her location, drive over to her friend's house, and literally storm inside. And what does he find? He finds her in the middle of a private boudoir photo shoot she's doing for a friend's portfolio. And he just crashes the whole thing in this possessive rage. And he doesn't just stop the shoot. Oh no. He physically grabs the camera from the photographer and starts deleting every single photo, all while Ava is protesting and telling him to stop. I mean, it is a massive overreach, a complete display of power and control. And this is his justification. See, in his mind, he's not being controlling. He is protecting her from a world that he thinks she's too naive to handle on her own. His actions are pure possession, but his reason is protection. And that, right there, is the core of their entire twisted dynamic. And that really brings us back to the central question of the entire book. When does protection become possession? When does simple concern turn into a dangerous obsession? The whole story just lives in that murky gray area, and it leaves you wondering, is what's happening between them just a toxic, unhealthy dynamic? Or is it something else? Is it just a very, very twisted kind of love?